Welcome to Bloody Flicks. I'm your host, Pete.
I'm Kyle, and we talk about all things bloody.
And today we're going to review the movie Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Directed by the Chiodo brothers.
I'm glad you said that because I would jack that name up.
Yep, probably.
The Chiro brothers.
Yeah, Churro.
This is a movie that's hot right now, at least at Spirit Halloween.
Well, I think it's because of the recently announced Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the video game coming out sometime next year.
Snow globes are high, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
But I do like the toys and the stuff for the movie. But as far as the movie itself, well, I guess we'll find out whether we like that movie or not. So you want to start us off with the premise of the movie? If you stayed awake?
Yeah, I stayed awake. It's about killer clowns from outer space that come down to Earth to use us as food. They have this little cotton candy gun that turns you into a big cotton candy cocoon, and they stick a straw in you and drink your blood to feed on. So
yummy.
And then we have our heroes of the movie trying to stop them. But are they really heroes?
Yeah, nothing's better than, being with your girl and a rubber raft in the back of a truck or vehicle, and, you see a nice comic go over, and instead of making out, let's go look at the comics.
Yeah. Oh, and they were drinking champagne, too, remember?
Oh, man, so... the main Dave is the Mike. Mike's the main character, and then of course Suzanne Snyder's plays Debbie, and Suzanne Snyder. I liked her character. I liked her in Weird Science. She's still beautiful to this day. Wonderful person to meet if you ever meet her.
She's also in Return of the Living Dead too.
Yep, and but as far as Mike's character, him being the jokester or whatever, he reminded me. If you ever see Married to Children, Mike reminded me of Steve Rhodes in the first four seasons of Married to Children, kind of like that goofy, funny but dorky.
Okay,
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, enough with the jokes.
Some of his dialogue was just like, okay, it's like, what? Someone wouldn't talk like that.
Oh, I picture dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Hey, he should have been a clown. So anyway, they make him the comic relief. This movie has a lot of comedy.
He was the comic relief? I thought the two brothers in the ice cream truck was supposed to be the comic relief.
Or was it the farmer?
Oh, yeah, the farmer at the beginning.
Yeah, Joe Lapardo or something like that. Yeah, I think I wrote down
him and his dog,
farmer.
Him and his dog Pooh.
I'll be hornswoggled.
Yeah.
Where's the ticket guy? Maybe I'll get free tickets.
Yeah.
Where's my dog? Was it Bella or I don't know.
No, his dog's name was Pooh.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, right. Where's my Pooh?
On your shoe.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. Have you noticed? Okay, we've all seen One's Been with Jim Carrey, right?
Yes.
Now, I think Killer Klowns came out first. I'm not 100% sure which movie, but why do every ice cream truck in every movie have two dudes, and they're dumb as hell? Because Once Bitten, those two guys were the goofballs, and in Killer Klowns from Outer Space, they're goofballs.
Well, they can't all be like Reggie from Phantasm.
True. Or a Big Worm from Friday.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, right? They come in twos, and they're both the dorky ones.
Yep.
We're going to sell ice cream while they're having sex.
Yeah.
So they pull up, and then the big clown head and JoJo or whatever they called it. Oh, my God. So... the base of the movie, they go in, they try to take this whole town over, make them kind of candy, so they can have, I'm guessing, food.
Yeah.
For the future. And then, of course, the main characters, Debbie and Mike, go exploring, and they meet the first clown, and get chased down, and he shoots popcorn at them. Why are they shooting popcorn? Why are they shooting popcorn? Because they're clowns.
Yeah.
And then later on, the popcorn turns into little. I do like how the popcorn crawls.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of cool. Kind of like trying to think of the movie where the stuff moves.
The stuff?
Well, there's a bunch of movies where things move like that, but I like that. They didn't show Suzanne naked, so that would have enhanced the movie quite a bit, in my opinion. So pros. What are your pros of the movie?
I like the look of the clowns. I actually think they're a lot more scarier than Pennywise for some reason. And their laugh, because all the clowns have different laughs. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then they like the balloon dog, barking. Yeah, and then the clown that's supposed to be driving, but there's no car there.
Yeah.
I think that was probably about the only pros I had, is to look at the clowns and that.
Yeah, clowns were cool. I like the voices. Like, you could kind of hear what they're saying. Like when he says, "Put him up,"
Shorty.
Yeah, you can hear Shorty kind of. So you can hear him talk. The dog thing. When the dog gets ran over in the beginning, where they're chasing Mike, and Debbie, the dog gets run over. You hear. You can kind of hear that a little bit. I like the fact that they're all magical and they can do whatever, which also is a negative. I like how they go door to door and use different tricks. Like Valentine, oh, Harry, did you buy this for me? Or whatever the fuck his name was. Did you buy this for me? And then he gets taken out. So the different, and then you got the pedophile clown that's trying to get that little girl outside the pizzeria. He's like, come here.
So it's been a while since I've seen this, and it's getting to that scene, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this clown kill this little girl, right? Because like I said, he's just the way he was like, come on, and then she gets to the door, and I'm like, oh man, and then the mom grabbed her. I was like, okay, good, because I was like, don't get me wrong, I love horror movies and when people get killed, but a kid, that's one of the things I don't get any enjoyment out of, watching a kid get killed.
Now that I'm older, I thought pedophile right off the bat.
Yeah.
I just was like, okay, that's creepy. He's just like the whole time, come here for an hour. It's like a 3-minute scene. Come here. I'm like.
And then the bat behind his back.
Did the girl look like
hammer?
Did the girl the giant hammer for the little kid?
Yeah.
that part was kind of funny. Did the girl at the pizzeria remind you of the girl from Poltergeist a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. Okay, so that was a pro. They did different stuff. The biker scene was, a little over the top the way they acted. Can I ride your bike? Can I ring your bell? And he smashes the bike. You knock my block off. Those are the pros. What were the cons?
Well, hang on, I got one more pro.
Okay.
I did like the scene where the big tall clown used the sheriff as or the cop as like a puppet. I like that too. I would say that was probably my favorite. I guess. Well, it wasn't the kill itself when he just kind of slams him up against the bars was kind of weak, but when he used him as like a puppet was cool. So that was my last pro.
So what's your cons?
My cons is just this movie's kind of like boring. I don't know if it's the main characters or what. I had a hard time getting through this. I was constantly on my phone, and usually I don't. When it comes to horror movies, I don't like being on my phone. I want to focus on it. But if you can't keep my attention for some reason, I was on my phone like most of the time, at least halfway through the movie. I think that was about my only biggest. I mean, for being the '80s, the effects and that are kind of cheesy, but that's part of the charm of the movie. But
exactly.
So yeah, I would just say it was kind of boring, slow.
Now, most 80 movies, there are a lot of bad. Not every 80 movie is great, but we grew up with them, so we watched them. There's a lot of bad ones out there, but we watch them because they're fun. But that doesn't mean they're good because we watch them. We watch them just because they're nostalgic, and we grew up with them. Killer Klowns is not a good movie, really, if you break it down. But it's got entertaining parts. It's got some funny scenes, but for some reason, I'm with you. The negative is I can't stay with the movie. I remember watching it a long time ago when I was younger. I couldn't watch it. I watched it a couple years ago. Couldn't get through it. I watched it when my friend and I were doing a makeup test. Couldn't get through it. Last night, I kept having it on, trying to rewatch it. I kept finding myself pausing it and going to doing other stuff in the man cave. And then we'll go back trying to watch it. I actually shut it off last night and had to finish watch this morning. And it was hard to get through. I don't know what it is.
Is that why you texted me this morning? Want to know if I watched it?
Yeah, I meant to say, did you make it through it?
Oh, yeah. I barely made it through it, but yeah, I made it through it.
Well, I don't know what it is that makes this movie I can't get through it. It's not like the world's worst movie.
No.
It's not the best movie.
No.
But even with Suzanne, and I like the cop. I like Dave, the main cop.
Okay.
I really liked his character. It was pretty cool. And then the other cop was named Kurt.
No, the blonde cop
older
was
cop.
Kurt. That was Mooney.
Yeah, Mooney.
The other cop was Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt, that's his name. He was over the top a little bit, the old school cop, but I don't know if it's just they have a good chemistry of characters, but I think it was the over the top of trying to push the jokes, like the whole farmer going overboard. Everything was, and the ice cream a little too much. Whatever it was, it doesn't click for me, and I can't get through it.
The older cop was the principal on Animal House.
Yes.
And it's like he was playing the same character, pretty much.
I just, for some reason, it just doesn't work for me. Like, I've seen worse movies I pay attention to. In this movie, I just don't stay focused. I don't know what it is. I think it's like A Nightmare Before Christmas came out. If it was kind of a flop, and then when the directors and the writers or whatever went overseas to Japan, there was toys everywhere. And like, oh, we can make money off of it. They brought all these toys and stuff out, and that revamped the movie, and the movie became a classic because all the cool stuff you could buy. I think the items to buy are cooler than the actual movie. Like, I want the gun, but I don't care for the movie.
Yeah.
So does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've actually wanted to buy a clown suit and it goes with the clowns one year, but I can't get through the movie with, I don't know what it is. It's a very. So let us know in the comments if there's anybody else that has trouble with this movie. Like, it's not like, if it's bad, I would normally shut it off, but I try to watch it.
Yeah, I think this is one of those movies where when the first time I seen it, I was a little kid, and it's like, oh, okay, Killer Klowns, you're more into it then. And now as an adult, yeah, it's it's rough to get through.
Which doesn't make sense because it's got some good points.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of
good
points.
stuff in it. It's just I find it kind of boring. I don't know if it's the characters, the dialogue. I don't know.
It's like they tried too hard to be too funny.
Yeah.
And if the clowns could be magical and do whatever, like you said, he could ride a bike, he's got lights on the end of his feet, and then bump into the other car. If they could be all magical, just go kill these people. But instead they're playing tricks, which is kind of good. They got their own mindset, but at the same time, they could just wipe out everybody all at once. It's kind of confusing that part, but I don't know. We're gonna get hate. So go ahead and hate us in the comments about how you love this movie. This movie's so great. And you can lie and say you can stay awake and watch it, which I'm sure some of you may, but I'm sure a majority of you can't. If I'm lying, I'm dying. What would you give it for a rating?
Well, first off, all right. Well, before we do the rating, What was your favorite kill?
Oh, yeah, favorite kill. Good point. Wow.
This tells you how long it's been since we've done an actual movie review.
And I just finished watching this morning, and I was hard to make a list as far as what to do, because I'm like this. I don't even care to make a list.
I'm like, we're bloody flicks. We got blood, and it's like, what was your favorite kill?
I want to say the part where the clown Mooney hits the clown over the head, but they get zapped. But it's not really gross. I like the fact that it hits the clown over the head, and he just turns around like, "What the fuck did you do, motherfucker?"
Okay.
But that really was a good kill. You don't really see Mooney die. Yeah. Man, that's a tough one. I kind of like probably the biker. As annoying as the biker was, you're gonna knock my block off, and I like it because he hits the head off. Shorty hits the biker's head off, but the way his body folds backwards underneath his feet, that's my top kill. So, knock my block off would be my favorite kill of the movie.
I would say that one too would be my favorite. Like I said earlier, the one with the older Officer Mooney. Like I said, the puppet, him using him as a puppet would be cool. I just wish his death was a little more exciting than just kind of smacking his head off. That would have been
my favorite too.
Yeah.
Had a bigger death.
So yeah, I'm going to go with the knock my block off too.
Can I beat your horde?
Yeah.
See, when we talk about it, I laugh.
Yeah.
But when I watch, I'm like this going,
I think this is one of those movies where if you had a bunch of friends over and you were drinking and you could just kind of just make fun of it the whole time you're watching it, I think you would probably get more enjoyment out of it.
We should try that.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else? Like I said, I started making a list and I was like, I'm bored of the list already. That's pretty sad. I know.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anything else.
All right. So what's your rating on A Killer Klowns from Outer Space?
So I don't like giving movies like.
Be honest.
I'd give it an average. I'd give it 3 out of 5 blood drops.
3 out of 5 blood drops for you. Okay. I was thinking. I was gonna give it 3, but for me, I'm gonna give it a 2. Just because for some reason it doesn't click for me. Like the premise is cool. I like some of the stuff in the movie. It's not bad. The actors are pretty good. A little over the top, but for some reason I cannot get through it. So it's 2 blood drops out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I don't. It's one of them movies where it's got an interesting premise, and the clowns are cool, and that is just. I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's not a great movie. So I think 3 is good enough for me.
Yeah, I just don't click. So go ahead, give us your hate. We'll take the hate in the comments.
or tell us what about it that you guys love about it. Tell us so maybe we can understand it better.
Exactly. So until next time,
stay bloody.